arriving at the residence of the ambassador, and was just the past chairman of the Economic Community of West African States. I would say the women are at the core of this particular move. Of course, it's one of our activities marking the day 6 of our peaceful protest. We can't call it a success without the women from different walks of life, from different backgrounds.
Small rest.
Are called
Rest, sir.
for the heart cry of the masses to be
Now you
hearkened
see
unto.
women.
My
Our
English is
message
not.
delivered.
Nursing the bruises of hope. Today, we mourn the demise of credibility, the rape of trust, the abuse of will. Today, we stand in the ruins of transparency and the embalming table of inclusion, equity, and accountability. Today, we are voices, toneless, stripped of the music of choice. Today, we are Nigerians broken, calling on INEC to count our votes. On the 25th of February, 2023, Nigerians trooped to their polling units with one mission: to cast their votes and choose their next leaders. They qualify for this exercise by participating in the year-long continuous voter registration, which witnessed an unprecedented spike has never been seen in any election since 1999. Months later, they returned to collect their permanent voters' cards and went home with a commitment to participate and engage with the process. The chains of apathy was broken, tossed to the belly of oblivion. We were free to experience the full potential of our Nigerianness. Our binding lines were broken. In ideology, they held us together. In trust, they washed us like water. In truth, they kept us alive. We breathed the full breath of what being citizens should be in a progressive secular society. So, when the day finally arrived, we had no doubt in our hearts, in the portion that always questioned truth, that our votes must count. But nothing could bolster our belief like the assurance of Mr. President Muhammadu Buhari and the INEC chairman, Professor Mahmoud Yakub. Recalled a little over a year ago, President Muhammadu Buhari appended his signature to the Electoral Act Amended Bill of 2022. The fanfare that greeted that appendment can well acclaim recognition in all of the most colorful of our recent history due to its unbroken allegiance to the Nigerian spirit. On that day, we were neither Igbo, Hausa, Yoruba. We were not Efik, Tiv, Urobo. No, we were not Bagi, Kanuri, or Ijo. On that day, we were all Nigerians full of the positive energies of our land. As we present this to the chair of ECOWAS through you, sir, I hate to announce that today, in the heart of some, all this has gone to waste. You may have seen the video of the aspirants who tore their passports. Some other Nigerians have done same to the fabric of our identity because INEC, through Professor Yakub Mahmoud, chose to silence their voice. So I asked Mr. Ambassador, what is the value of democracy if the process that recruits its leaders consistently lack the credibility? Perhaps the answer is at the International Conference Center, where Professor Yakub Mahmoud began, sustained and concluded collation and declaration of a candidate as winner of the presidential election based on falsehood, contravening the guidelines of the Electoral Act. It is most disturbing that this was done in the full glare of the world, and ECOWAS inclusive. Never has our democracy been so sorely abused by any citizen in public or private service. Professor Yakub Mahmoud has raised the bar in impunity that will cost our country many years of electoral excellence to correct. This was not the electronic transmission he promised Nigerians and the world at Chatham House Professor Yakub Mahmoud lied to Nigerians and abused our right of choice. We passed a vote of no confidence and we call for his immediate sack and prosecution. We cannot afford to continue the culture of performing lawlessness without consequences. We are as strong as our laws and as tall as our institutions. We cannot afford to descend lower than this. Therefore, we call on President Muhammadu Buhari, even through the ECOWAS, whose commitment to free and fair election is engraved in the legacy of the Electoral Act, to initiate a process and procedure that will bring Nigerians under the control of an interim government pending the resolution of all litigation pertaining to the conduct of the February 25 presidential election. Our country needs healing. It will be counterproductive to allow a fraudulent process to succeed, as fraud will eternally birth fraud. We cannot grow under a democracy and falsehood and suspicion. The holes in our national fabric must be woven shut. One way is to immediately establish a truth and reconciliation committee in Lagos State and other flashpoints of voter intimidation and violence during the presidential, National Assembly, governorship, and state assembly elections. This will help build trust, confidence, and further ethnic cooperation among Nigerians. May we reiterate, sir, that our demands, which are made in the interest of unity, inclusion, and sustainability of our national ethos, are: 1. Sack, arrest, and prosecute Mahmoud Yakubu. 2. Cancellation of the presidential election of 25 February 2023. A declaration of an interim government. A compensation of all victims of electoral violence, voter suppression, and other electoral atrocities committed during the federal, state elections of February 25th and March 11th, respectively. As concerned citizens, sir, we believe that our country is destined for greatness. And we are hopeful that in no distant time, our faith will nudge our dreams to reality. This is our prayer. We nurse the bruises of hope, for though they force us to precipice, we will not curse our country or stand by those who curse it. We will not steal from our country whatever treasures it possesses in dignity. We will hold to the promise of faith, of unity, of peace, and progress. This is where we stand. I'm good, sir.